Welcome to Kharis tutorials. I'm Simeon Grace. We're going to be making this Ankara Palazzo pant, which is a 2-in-1 pant. It can be worn as shirt or as palazzo. The first thing we're going to be doing is to write out all our measurements. So I'm going to be working with the length. The first is 12 and then the full length is 37 inches. We have the waist of 26 and then the hip measurement of 35 inches. You have your upper thigh. My upper thigh is 22. The lower thigh is 20, while the ankle is 20 as well, since it's going to be wide. So first we are going to work with the full length of 37. I will add 2 to make it 39 inches. Our circumference measurements, which are the waist and the hip, we're going to add 4 and divide by 4. And it's the same as the waist and the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. So we have 7.5 and 10. Now the upper thigh, the lower thigh, and the ankle is going to be plus 2 divided by 2 because it's just one leg each. So we're going to, can you do your calculations while I do mine? Now that has been done, we're going to fold a pattern with the highest circumference measurement, which is 10, plus ease measurement. Now the ease measurement, depending on the size, it has small, medium, large, or extra large, so it can be 3, 3.5, or 4. But I'll be going with 3 inches, so 10 plus 3 makes it 13. Together, our crotch length, we're going to be, it's the rule is our hip plus 4 divided by 4. It's still the same as your hip divided by 4 plus 1. So that gives us 11 inches. Now going to the length, I am going to note the 2 inches first, which is going to be for band. Since it's a pant, it's going to have a band, so my tape is placed as -2. So I have my crotch length, which is 11 inches. We have our full length. The 12 inches now, I need to add allowance to it for the folding at the base. So 12 plus 2 will give us 14 inches. So here is my 14 inches. And then the full length, which is 39, because of the extra 2 inches, I am going to add it back to the base. So this is the extra 2 inches for the base. And then this is my 12 inches for the shorts. The next thing to do is to get the 4 inches. Now those 4 inches is the strips of fabric in between the shirts and the long palazzo. It's going to link the two together. Now here we're going to be measuring, taking our hip measurements. So the hip measurement is 10 inches from our calculation. Our hip divided by 4 plus 1. So I'm taking the 10 inches all the way. Here is my crotch length. The crotch length is 13 inches. So on the crotch point, instead of the 10, the ease will take effect. That's the 3 inches. So it's going to be 13 inches. So I can just mark out the 13 inches all the way. You remember I said we're going to be folding with our highest circumference measurement plus ease. So if you are folding your pattern, you just fold 13 inches, or better still, you mark out your 13 inches. Now on the crotch point, it is our hip measurement plus ease. So this is our crotch point, and this is our short length. Now after our crotch point, we get the upper thigh measurements. You can always measure from the waist to wherever you're taking your upper thigh in order to get this. So the upper thigh is 12 inches and we folded 13. That means we have 1 inch extra. so it's just going to be half an inch on both sides. Then we move to the lower tie. The lower tie is 11 inches from 13 that we have. That means we have 2 inches extra. I'm going to take 1 inch on both sides, and the same thing as the ankle. So I'm just going to connect my points. Then from my crotch point to the upper thigh, like this. The same thing I'm going to do on the other side, from the ankle to the lower thigh and then to the upper thigh. Now we need to connect the crotch point, so you can just form your L shape to the crotch point, and then at the angle 90 we're going to take out 1.5 inches, and depending on the size it could be 1 inch for you. If you're working with a smaller size like mine, it could be 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Now here we're going to be taking the waist backward. The waist is 7.5, so I'll just mark my 7.5 inches, and then I'll connect from the waist to the hip line. Here is my hip line, so I'll just connect like this to the hip line, then connect from the upper thigh as well. So what we have here is the front pant. Well, we are going to cut it out, and then we place this in order to cut out the back piece. That has been done. To get the back piece, place your pattern, the front pattern, but here at the top we're going to leave 1.5 inches. We're going to mark out your 1.5 inches here, and of course you need to get the crotch point, because we're going to be taking 1 inch on the crotch point. We take 1 inch, and then the 1 inch continues all to the waist area of our pants, and then you can connect your points. Now the next thing, from your crotch point you're going to find your way back to the normal measurements on the front edge. Then here at the waist you're going to give it a slant shape to meet your 1.5 inches. So at the waist area it is equal, but around the crotch area it is 1.5 inches longer than that of the front pattern. So you can cut it out like this. So the next thing to do is to slant the front in order to eradicate any form of bulge at the front part of your pants. So I'm slanting with 2 inches only at the front, and we are going to cut it out just like this. Here is our short length, so we can just cut it out. Then moving to the remaining part of our trousers, remember I said there is 4 inches strips of fabric, and remember we need to fold in the upper part of our trouser, so you can just take it by 1 inch or by 2 inches depending on the fold that you want. So to cut our fabric we only need one pattern for this. So here is the front pattern for the shirt, here is the back pattern, and here we can use this for both the front and the back. To cut it out on your fabric, all you need to do is place your pattern on your fabric. Make sure your fabric is folded into two, so that we can have the two pieces for the front, and then the base of the trousers, place your pattern as well to cut. Still folded, our Ankara fabric is still folded, so this is for the front. We are still going to place the pattern to cut that of the back. Here is the back piece. done cutting the back piece, and then we place our pattern to cut for the back as well. Now we move to the band. The waist measurement is 26, so I am cutting out 27, and folded is I'm measuring out 2 inches. Then after that has been done, we need strips of fabric, and then we move to the sewing. I'm sure you do not want to miss out. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. I still remain Simeon Grace. Bye.